Today on Rock the Park,
Wow, is it beautiful out here. Holy cow.
we're exploring the most extreme landscapes in America.
We're gonna weave our way through a huge minefield of crevasses.
We're braving the elements,
My heart is starting to pound.
plenty of obstacles,
You all right?
and checking out some of the oldest spots on Earth and some of the newest.
We're really inside the caldera of a volcano.
And it all starts right now. I'm Jack Stewart.
And I'm Colton Smith. We've been buddies for years, and we love exploring the national parks.
It's all about packing up a car and just doing it, just hitting the road.
Our goal is to visit every national park in this country.
And when you go off the beaten path like we do,
There's no telling what will happen next.
get set to rock the park.
The United States is one of the largest countries on Earth,
Oh my gosh, look how much you can see from up here.
and it's loaded with awesome wild spaces from one extreme
Oh, man, here we go. Oh, this is cool.
to another.
What an incredible place. There's no question about it. Some of the most breathtaking and beautiful scenery can be found right here in our national parks.
We've hiked, climbed, kayaked, and crawled through some pretty epic places in the parks. More than 400 U.S. national parks protect oceans, caves, deserts, forests, and our favorite, mountains.
Some of the most amazing views can really take you to the extreme, and you have to experience it to believe it.
Alaska is the mother of extremes, and Denali is the tallest mountain in the U.S.
Oh my gosh.
Woo. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. I take one step out. Whoa! And my jaw literally drops.
These are mountains, dude. Oh,
These
man.
are mountains.
Wow.
We're gearing up to trek across the Hilton Glacier, the longest glacier in the Alaska range and one riddled with deep cracks in the ice.
I'm looking out at the route from our base camp, and you can just see a maze of crevasses.
Our goal is to summit the control tower, an 8,700-foot peak on the other side.
For the 2-mile hike across the glacier, we're spread out and roped together, so if one of us falls into a crevasse, the others can help pull him out.
To our left, we have gigantic crevasses that drop down we don't know how many hundreds of feet.
Oh, man. That is a deep crevasse.
As we inch across the glacier at over 8,000 feet of elevation, the conditions worsen.
It's a little spooky. There is fog everywhere. It's really hard to see where we're going.
Oh, man.
Ooh. After nearly 3 hours of winding our way through this treacherous maze, we're almost at the glacier's edge.
We're coming up to a Bergstrond, which is where the glacier separates from the mountain.
These cracks can be very deep and unstable, but we have to cross it to reach the peak.
My heart is starting to pound. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Underneath you, you see all these holes that are just really deep. And then now peering over to the other side where we're about to go is a giant, giant cliff. Oh man, all right.
I take a step up and I peer over the ridgeline.
I have to take my sunglasses off to make sure this is real.
Whew. Whoa. This is much steeper than I thought it was from down at the bottom. We're so close to the peak.
But the path is covered in ice and snow with 1,000-foot drop-offs and no room for error.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know, right? You've got a gigantic glacier sitting on one side of you, and then a steep, rocky mountain cliff face on the other side.
So I'm
shaking right now up on this ridge, trying to keep myself in one place, and all of a sudden we just hear this thunderous roar.
Ooh, man.
There's a massive avalanche barreling down the peak of Mount Hunter, less than 2 miles away.
Man, that is nature's power right there.
Well, that's not what you like to see when you're up on a mountain.
There's not a static situation on any of these peaks. They change multiple times throughout the year and sometimes even multiple times throughout the day. And I think that maybe this would be a good high point for us.
Climbing a mountain is just like anything else in life. You have to take it one step at a time. And at the end of the day, we're sitting on top of a mountain in the heart of Denali.
From ice and snow to the extreme opposite. We discover we're not alone on our trek through the biggest desert in the U.S.
It's a tarantula!
That's a monster.
Look at that thing!
Deserts are extreme landscapes by nature, generally receiving less than 10 inches of rainfall per year.
This has taken us a lot longer. We drank a lot more water than we thought, and we're beat.
Despite the lack of water, there are more plants and animals living in the desert than you might think, as we discovered in Big Bend National Park in Texas.
We're trekking 9 miles across the Chihuahuan Desert, up and over this giant mesa, and then ending at the Rio Grande, the border of Mexico and the United States. Ooh, looks like we got our first signs of wildlife. Big old bug. Looks like a very big millipede. Desert millipedes are usually 4 to 5 inches long. They've got a lot of legs, but it's hard to tell how many since they continue to grow new segments and legs throughout their lives.
Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a walking stick.
There are more than 3,000 different types of stick insects, but they're easy to miss because they mimic the plants they live near.
What's so cool about the desert? Every living thing out here has to adapt. Whoa.
Okay.
That's a tarantula!
That's a monster.
Look at that thing!
Texas brown tarantulas are as big as a mouse, but a lot hairier. Their bite is painful, but their venom is weaker than a bumblebee's.
I'd say it's about a 3-inch diameter.
Yeah, like the size of your fist.
Out west in Zion National Park, the desert wildlife is only part of the adventure.
We have a male deer here. Wow, he is close. Just minding his own business.
Here in Utah, the Great Basin Desert converges with the Colorado Plateau, creating a landscape of sandstone cliffs and canyons and some heart-pounding experiences.
This trail to Hidden Canyon, it goes up almost 1,000 feet, and it does it really, really quickly.
So we turn the corner and I look up and see what's ahead of us. I can feel my stomach just kind of curl up on me.
It's crazy, because you can't
Yeah,
even
I
see-
know. I'm not looking, man.
Well, good. You can't even see the bottom there.
People have died on this trail, so you have to be very smart.
This trail is extremely narrow. If you slip here, holding onto the chain is your only hope. And even then, I wouldn't want to count on it.
Chain, my friend. My friend the chain. Ooh, man. Oh, almost there.
Almost there.
We finally reached the end of the steep part of the trail and the mouth to Hidden Canyon.
Oh, man. Wasn't even scared at all. Give me a break. I was scared.
The national parks take you to places you can't even imagine.
Oh my gosh.
And sometimes they push you to the limit.
It's such a mental challenge peering down into something that you don't know where it goes.
The National Park System manages 4,700 caves with some of the most surreal and challenging landscapes you'll ever set foot in.
It seems like you're on another planet.
Caves come in all shapes and sizes, from vast caverns to tiny passageways, and they tell us a lot about the history of the Earth. How about Jewel Cave in South Dakota? You start out in an elevator, and then 23 stories later, you're in a whole new world underground.
Oh, whoa. Sweet.
It's almost like a cathedral. There's all these different colors of the rocks. There are crystals.
Jewel Cave formed about 50 million years ago as acidic water seeped into cracks in the ground and hollowed out the limestone, leaving behind the biggest collection of calcite crystals on Earth.
Here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
This crawl is pretty awkward looking. It's like a big L. Ooh. I squeeze my way through and contort my body, and I'm out. All right.
How was it?
It's actually quite pretty. You're surrounded by crystals. Not too bad.
Of the 177 miles in this cave, 17 of them are marked trails, and they're full of rare and bizarre formations.
See these balloons? Tiny, tiny balloons. Yep, there's a big one right there.
What are those?
Those are hydromagnesite balloons. They have only been found in about a dozen caves throughout the world, and this is the first spot where they were discovered.
Jewel Cave is the third longest in the world, and it features some of the tightest passageways in the national parks.
Oh my gosh.
We're bearing down on Hurricane Corner right now. It's just through this little crawl.
Gosh.
Right in front of us lies our toughest challenge of the day. It's only 12 inches tall and 18 inches wide.
All right, here I come. Ooh. You can feel the wind blowing through it.
The hurricane?
Yeah.
Airflow deep within Jewel Cave has been clocked at 32 miles per hour, and it's a great indicator that there is much more cave to be discovered.
I start crawling through this, and I feel my whole body cinch up inside this thing. All right.
Woo!
Bro, I'm out, yeah.
Okay. I'm coming to the other side.
All right.
Mind over matter.
I take a deep breath, and I go for it.
Oh.
I have no wiggle room whatsoever. As hard as I can, I am squeezing and inching my way through.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Man,
Isn't that sick?
that was. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Caves are more than just a place to study the earth or have fun, as we discovered in Kentucky.
Here is where there are remains from a saltpeter mine back in 1809.
During the War of 1812, the British cut off the American supply of foreign gunpowder, so slaves mined the nitrate here. They are the unsung heroes, and their bravery saved the United States.
The gunpowder that they were able to harvest, that basically won the War of 1812, did it not?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Believe it or not, these caves were also once used as a medical clinic of sorts. People suffering from tuberculosis, or consumption as it was called, actually lived here in these little huts.
Dr. John Cron thought the cave air had restorative properties. He saw people going on cave tours. They would walk for miles and never get tired. And he asked people with consumption to come into the cave and live here. In the 1840s, people stayed for about 6 months. There were
6 months entirely in this hut? The doctor thought it would help people breathe more easily, but because they had to light fires for warmth and to cook, it became very smoky down here. Many patients, and eventually even the doctor himself, died. From one otherworldly experience to another.
Do you see all of that lava rock out there?
It's everywhere you look.
That's insane.
That's right, Craters of the Moon in Idaho.
Steep, it's sharp, it's hard to gain footing.
Our national parks are home to some of the oldest places and species on Earth.
Big gator right there in front of the boat, guys.
Oh, do you see him?
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But they also protect some of the newest land on the planet.
Look at that dude.
Wow.
That is insane.
And as the lava came out, it was shooting up here hundreds of feet high.
And as it flowed out, it built up all this land we're standing on now. So this is fresh stuff.
2,000-degree lava flows cool quickly to form the starkest and strangest landscapes anywhere, as we discovered in Craters of the Moon in Idaho.
Holy cow, do you see all of that lava rock out there?
It's everywhere you look.
That's insane.
This surreal landscape has been compared to the surface of the moon, but the craters here were formed by volcanic eruptions that happened thousands of years ago.
You ready? I am, Buzz. Buzz Aldrin, like the astronaut. And I'm Neil Armstrong.
We're heading up to the top of Big Cinder Butte, a 700-foot mountain of ash created when that great rift erupted.
You know, we've seen volcanoes before, but this is just the ground, cracking and lava oozing on up.
Volcanic rock is porous. Water goes through it so it doesn't erode easily. That's why mounds like this one can stay around a long time and can be tough to climb.
It's basically like large sand. So every step you take makes you feel like you're really taking 2 steps backwards.
Steep, it's sharp, it's hard to gain footing. Oh man. Oh, wow.
When you come up to the top of this butte, you get the big picture of this eruption, which from up here, it looks massive.
Massive volcanic eruptions have created much of the Earth's surface, including the Hawaiian Islands. Mauna Loa on the Big Island has been erupting for up to 1 million years. It's erupted 33 times in the past 175 years and as recently as 1984, amassing enough lava and mass to become the world's largest volcano.
Oh, wow. You can see the ocean. We're up above 11,000 feet, and we're headed 2,500 feet up.
Somewhere down there, there's warm beaches and palm trees. Not where we're going.
This is pretty awesome. Right away, we're already off trail, just hiking on lava flow.
Sharp lava rocks are just all over the place. You have to make sure that you're stepping in the right spot. There is no trail. Our path is marked by giant rock cairns.
These are our only trail markers. We gotta make sure we pay attention, because if you miss one, you're gonna get lost.
You can see some cairns out there. You see those? Way out there?
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like we are gonna be trekking through this bad boy.
Our route to the summit cuts through the northern section of Mauna Loa's giant crater, which in places measures more than 4 miles across.
Feels like we're in some sort of canyon. Look at that. But we're really inside the caldera of a volcano.
It seems nice and peaceful, you know, nice and calm. There's just a sleeping giant underneath us right now.
Oh, yeah.
The summit is several hundred feet higher in elevation. We're at 13,000 feet, where the air contains less oxygen, which is slowing us down.
I'm thinking we're closing in on maybe a little over a mile until we reach the summit. And I'm breathing pretty heavy.
Whew. Look at this, we're above the clouds. We've got our oxygen, we've got our water, we'll be fine. To the summit. Just gotta keep pushing it. Final stretch, man.
This is it.
Oh, yeah!
Is this it? Woo-hoo! Yes! All right.
Wow.
We're standing on top of the world's largest volcano. Its base lies 56,000 feet below us on the seafloor. Even though Mauna Loa last erupted more than 30 years ago, it's still steaming today.
Man, well done, dude. So as you can see, when you explore our national parks, you run into some pretty rugged and extreme conditions.
But if you prepare for them and have the right training and equipment, you can stay safe and really enjoy what these parks have to offer.
And remember,
hey, if we can do it,
so can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
You ready to get wet? Don't really have another choice, do I?
look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Just tangling up. Oh.
Easy.
Oh. That's up and over the old socks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.